All right, the next song we got in the list comes to us from our good buddy Steve, so I appreciate him for the request, putting everything together again for so much of what we do around here on the channel, so definitely want to appreciate Steve for everything that he does. Next song we got is called Lord of Ruins. It's live performance by a band called Crypta. He is telling me that they are a Lithuanian band, and oh, my bad, it was performed in Lithuania, but they're from Brazil. So one of Brazil's best, apparently. So let's go ahead and check it out. Oh man, I'm gonna throw some shade. Not on this band, but on some of the fellas and the bands of the world out here. I was just sitting there thinking, I was like, man, this is like the riff in this is awesome, like the metal factor and all that. I think this sounds really sick. And it, from this being a live video, never heard anything from them before. Sounds super clean. Sounds super clean live. But the thing I was laughing at was, I was like, man, this is one thing that I feel like some of the guys of the world out here in some of these bands need to hear. It's not about just screaming. They gotta understand what you're saying. They gotta understand what you're saying, because already you're facing all those people that are like, I can't understand what they're saying as soon as they start like screaming, right? But I've been dying on this hill for a while that there's a lot of great vocalists out here with the harsh vocals that are extremely easy to understand, and that it's not all just, oh, I can't understand what they're saying. You know what I mean? It's not all that. But the guys out here, I feel like the women of the world have learned this lesson, because I'm like, it's been pretty consistent for all the female vocalists that we've done on this channel that scream. We can understand them all. But sometimes the dudes are so hard to understand. And I'm not listening to this stuff all the time too, so I'm like, I feel like I have a decent ear for it. But again, I give them their props. From a live video perspective, this shit is fire. A little bit of Brazil representation. They're out there in Lithuania. That's pretty damn cool.
for being here tonight. Thank you for supporting Crypta. Thank you for supporting metal. Thank you for supporting Brazilian metal. Thank you for being the reason we do this. Without you guys, there's no festivals, no bands, nothing. You are the reason for everything. Thank you!
That's cool. They left that part there in the end, thanking the fans and all that, because I think it's important for sure, because there needs to be more people at these live shows, fam. I keep saying it. We keep talking about it on the channel about how there needs to be more people that go out there and see shows. I try to at least go to like at least one show a month. You know what I mean? And most of the shows I go to are like under like $40. The good majority of them. You know what I mean? You don't have to go to see the biggest band in the world all the time. You know what I mean? That's why we try to support some of these smaller bands for sure out there. I'm not saying that Crypta is a small band, but just on the channel in general. But just seeing a Brazilian band play in a foreign country like that is just like cool. You know what I mean? The same way that I like to see, you know, really like all these different forms of like rock just throughout the entire world. You know what I mean? We cover like Indonesian bands on this channel. We've covered like Swedish, all kinds of different stuff. Norwegian, even some Italian bands. My God. But overall, with this particular song and performance, going back to that, I would say that honestly, that I think that in terms of like the song structure and all that, like I think it's like really good for what I like in metal, because like I've talked about a few times on the channel where I feel like metal is the genre where we have a lot of times where we just go on journeys with the musical instruments, and like, you know, we have multiple little solos and multiple little different sections of the song to kind of have those journeys. And I feel like that's where like metal really thrives that way. And like I said, it's all about the journey that you're on when you're on those journeys, right? Because the rest of all the verses kind of sound very similar, right? It's all about those solos and like where are we going with that and how much is that really rocking. So I think overall everything was really dope. Like I thought the drummer was sick, the guitar solos were sick, and the fact she was playing that 5-string bass, all that shit was super fire. So definitely want to appreciate Steve for the request. Be kind to a stranger, tell somebody that you love them, and if you haven't joined the Foxtrot family, there's always room for you.